Last time on How to ADHD.
Eric Tivers taught us it's really hard to stick to a schedule if you make that schedule without knowing how long things actually take you. His solution? Find out how long things actually take you.
And now, this week on How to ADHD.
Hi! Hello, brains! So, who's been doing their homework? Personally, I did not time myself perfectly or consistently, but I did start to notice a pattern. I pretty much always underestimated how long something would take me, and I was more off when it was something that I haven't done very often or involved multiple steps, like making a YouTube video. In every case, there was something I forgot to factor in. Long lines, something going wrong, Facebook. The process was eye-opening. Time is way more limited than I realized, and I am not very happy about it. But now that I know that even in a hurry, walking my dog takes at least 5 minutes, and that shooting a video right before work does not allow time for dealing with technical difficulties, like forgetting to hit record, I do feel more prepared to be able to create a schedule for myself. So let's do it. Let's create a schedule. Wait, where are we putting this schedule?
People often ask me about what's the best app? What's the best calendar? It's the one that you use. That's the best one. Your daily to-do list can be on a piece of paper today. It can be in a notebook tomorrow. That's actually okay, especially when you're beginning.
What's not okay, according to Eric, is having multiple calendars.
Having multiple calendars that you're working from is probably not the top way to mess yourself up when it comes to scheduling.
I totally have multiple calendars, and he's totally right. I love using my bullet journal, but Edward and I also have a How to ADHD calendar on Google, so I end up using that and my Bujo, and I don't always remember to transfer stuff from one to the other.
So please schedule a time to transfer the two calendars so you're in one calendar.
Okay, so new plan. I'll stick to Google Cal for my schedule. Oh, but I can still use my Bujo for my to-dos and habit tracking and stuff. So, now that we've decided on a calendar, what do we actually put on our schedule?
First thing to do is what are your actual commitments, appointments, or due dates, or things that are coming up. If I have a big project, I'll say, this conference is in 6 weeks, and I'll go into my calendar, go in 6 weeks, it's in 5 weeks, it's in 4 weeks. So I keep having that sort of lead in time, so I don't have this next week. Right?
It's wedding in 6 months, wedding in 5 months. Start panicking. VidCon.
You turned me on to a hashtag that I'm like, well, that's weird. And then I thought about it. I'm like, that's awesome. The IBNU, the important but not urgent. If you want to do the big stuff, the stuff that's going to move you forward, you gotta schedule time to work on the important but not urgent.
For this, Eric recommends block scheduling, which is basically blocking out time for yourself on your schedule for the important stuff that we often never get around to doing because it's not urgent. I want to meditate. I would like to take my dog hiking every Monday. Eric suggests giving yourself a little more time than you think you might need, and also not scheduling anything right before or right after an activity because, transitions. But what if we don't have time for everything we want to do, plus space in case it takes longer than we expect?
There are so many paradoxes when it comes to productivity. My favorite is less is more. If you want to do big things and move forward fast, then get rid of a lot of things and do less of those other things. And yeah, is it hard to say no to things? Is it hard to delegate things or just get rid of things? Absolutely. But I think it's harder to not do it when you're constantly overwhelmed, when you feel like you could be doing so much better, yet you're continuously falling short of what your intentions are.
He's referring to me here, but I think a lot of you can relate. So often we take on so much more than we probably should because we want to make people happy, or we're excited about 5 new things, or we're trying to make up for lost time, or we're afraid of missing out, that we don't really get any of them done. Certainly not on time. So how are we supposed to decide between what to let go of and what to keep? According to Eric, it's pretty simple. Focus on what you want to grow. For me right now, that's the channel, so I might have to say no to organic vegetable gardening or tandem skydiving. Edward already said no to tandem skydiving. Okay, recap. What have we learned so far? Use whatever system you want, and you'll probably want to switch sometimes, but only keep one calendar. Start with adding appointments and due dates for things, but remember to leave time in between them. Don't forget your evenings. Schedule blocks of time for yourself to work on the stuff that's important to you. Nobody gets everything done on their to-do list. So how do you choose what to drop? focus on what you want to grow. Of course, having too much on your schedule is not the only thing that can mess us up. So I asked Eric a ton of questions about everything that I could think of that could possibly derail us, which turned out to be an episode all on its own. So that's it for this week. We'll finish up this interview
Next time on How to ADHD.
I know 3 episodes is a lot to spend on one topic, but it's kind of important. So if you're already wonderful at time management, thanks for bearing with me. And also, please tell us your secrets in the comments below, because I am not. If you like this episode, subscribe. And if you love this episode and want to help me make more, consider donating to my Patreon page, like these brains did. Thank you to all my Patreon brains. You make it so that I can carve out time in my schedule for this show. Bye, brains! Question time! Hey, have you heard of Toggle? No, actually we hadn't, and thank you so much for telling us about it. Edward is already obsessed. For those of you who haven't heard of it, it's a super easy and free way to keep track of how much time you spend on your projects. I'm gonna start using it for this show too. I think it'll be super helpful. Link in the description. You still watching me? Why? There's so many cat videos. Bye, brains!